Hey guys, happy Monday. Joe Madden here, and it's time for All-Jo Madden over here on Picks and Parlays. It is a Monday, and what an incredible Sunday football day we had. I hope you guys absolutely enjoyed it. If it is a victory Monday for your team, drop it here in the comments. We definitely want to hear. But we're going to go over everything on today's slate, and I've got fantastic guests coming in for you. We'll invite in Allie Burns as well as Sean Higgs, so make sure you guys don't go anywhere. Hit that like, hit that retweet button, and don't forget we are live here Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, all 3 days at 11 a.m. Eastern. Now we'll be going over everything from Monday Night Football to the loaded slate in the MLB. We do have 11 games on deck today, and I'm sure Sean Higgs is going to come at us with a couple of those games he is liking. I do have 2 games as well, and I want to welcome you guys in. Kev, it's great to see you here as well. It was a good week for you. I'm glad to hear it. 3-1. It's hopefully going to be another good week. We're going to finish off Monday Night Football tonight, finishing off week 1. We know it's a huge matchup here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Now, it's going to be interesting, and I want you guys to do me a favor. Go on over to X. We've got a poll running, X versus the books. I want to see what you guys are liking there. When we look at the matchup and get your odds logic screen open, I'm just going to pull up those lines. We are seeing some movement in the lines right now. Now, we know the Chicago Bears have moved from the favorite role on opening laying 1 to now the Minnesota Vikings being the favorite, Chicago now being the dog. The Minnesota Vikings laying 1.5 currently across the books. Now, depending on the book, that will depend on the juice that you're going to lay. Most books have it right around that minus 109 mark. We are seeing minus 115 on some books like the Hard Rock. And look at that total, you guys. That total did open at 44.5. We're seeing 44s out there on Pinnacle, but we are seeing 43.5 on FanDuel. So definitely, if you're liking an over in this matchup, shop those lines. So grab your odds logic screen, get that open so you can have the best lines out there for your money. And of course, 5 cents either way, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're betting every single day, you guys, it really will add up. So good morning to each and every one of you. Let's make some freaking money today. Let's go over some things here. I want to look at what we saw on Sunday. We're going to bring Allie Burns in here. We'll talk about her Texans. We're also going to talk about her show Total Chaos. So you guys definitely want to hear that. But I want to look at some of the games that maybe hurt you a little bit out there last night Sunday Night Football. I tell you, talk about a comeback win by the Buffalo Bills. Also, let me know, you guys, if you were a Bills fan, would you have left when they were down 15 points? Because that's what we did see. We saw Bills fans leaving the stadium there, and that is mind-blowing to me, especially when you look at that final score, the Bills coming back and getting that win 41-40. I was sitting there when they were down 15, and I did have someone with me that was playing, fantasy football, and they had Josh Allen and their opponent had Lamar. So it was a great matchup. They also had, I believe they had the defense, one had the defense, one had Kincaid. It was really interesting, but the way Josh Allen was able to bring that team back last night was absolutely phenomenal. So if you were riding an under in that game, 41-40 definitely pushed you over that total. That was a hard one. We know Buffalo was the dog in that matchup, but looking at some of those earlier games, you guys, we did see, Friday Night Football, we saw the Chargers pull off the upset. I can't mention that enough because I'm a Bolts fan. You guys know that 27-21 win over Kansas City. That was great. Lots of people have doubt in the Washington Commanders this season. Well, they proved a lot of people wrong. They won that one 21-6 over the New York Giants with Russ suiting up as a Giant there. So it was great to see in that matchup. So anyone who took the Giants plus the points, definitely not a good spot. If you were riding the over between Tampa Bay and Atlanta, that did hurt. That was a 43-point game with Tampa getting the win, 23-20. The Jacksonville Jaguars showed up, and they showed up big, winning that one 26-10 over Carolina. We saw Indy. Wow. Indy with Daniel Jones. I couldn't believe what we were seeing out there. They got a 33-8 win over the Miami Dolphins. Tua, through those interceptions, they looked a mess out there. Miami offensively, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So that game was crazy. We did see the Colts shut down Miami in the whole first half. The 8 points out of Miami came in the fourth quarter. So mind-blowing game there. Arizona, the Cardinals and the Saints. That was a tighter one than I expected, you guys. Arizona finally pulled it out 20-13, but it gives me more questions around Kyler Murray. Like, what are we going to see out of Kyler Murray this season? Because if he was only with his wide receivers as running back, that offense was only able to put up 20 points on the New Orleans Saints, and Spencer Rattler was able to put 13 points up on them. That leaves huge question marks for me. Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots were unable to get the win there in his debut with the Vegas Raiders, winning that one 20-13. Pittsburgh, that was the game of the morning, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers beating the New York Jets. We saw that 34-32 win. And then Cincy beat Cleveland, tight one, didn't cover the spread, definitely hurt anyone laying the 5.5, 6.5 with Cincinnati. San Francisco beat Seattle. Seattle at home, I thought, was the play. San Francisco came in, lower scoring game again, 17-13. Denver got the win, but not the cover versus Tennessee, winning that 20-12. And the Packers and the Lions, we saw the Packers pull out that fantastic win, 27-13. Micah Parsons getting his start there. And I tell you, the way he ran that defense, he was like a lion out there hunting the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff. So it was a great one. But we're going to bring Allie Burns in. I want to talk this Houston Texans game with her versus the LA Rams. We know the Rams ended up winning at 14-9, but the Texans looked great. So let's bring Allie in. Allie, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Allie. How are you doing?
I'm good. That was an excellent breakdown. I did want to talk some Texans and Rams. However, I was talking about next Monday Night Football's Texas and Rams.
Okay.
I had a little family emergency last night and had to shoot out of town really quick. So I was in the car, my mom's driving, and I'm taking notes on everything. And I know you want to talk Monday Night Football, and I'm prepping Total Chaos for next week. And I'm like, oh, great, it's the Texans. I'll talk Texans. And so they're not actually playing this Monday night. I was in total chaos land. So if you want to talk Vikings and Bears, I'm totally cool with that. I missed all of the games yesterday, and I was in a state that you can't bet in. So I the location thing on your phone, if you bet on an app, would not let me bet. So it was like a great week one of the NFL for me.
That's always hard when you're somewhere where you can't place those bets. Okay. So you're a Texans fan.
Yes.
So what do you think? How do you think they're going to perform next Monday night? So September 15th, we're already seeing that line of 2. They're taking on Tampa Bay. I don't believe in Baker Mayfield. I don't know about you. I don't believe in Baker. I'd love to see Houston get it done.
I really would too. We had a good season last season. And, I want to like Baker. I feel like for many years I have wanted to like Baker, but he's just not doing it for me. I'm not so sure about how this is going to go down, but I'm definitely leaning towards the Texans in this moment. And I think they just have a lot more to show. It wasn't the best. I mean, they looked good. They didn't look bad, but it wasn't they didn't win. There, let's put it like that. They didn't win. All right. That's what we want our teams to do.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely want those teams to come out and win. But I was pretty impressed with what we did see out of that defense. That defense stood nice and tall, holding the Rams to only 14 points. So definitely a great showing. I think this is a team that can build for next season. But we do have Monday Night Football. You mentioned it. This Monday night game between the Vikings and the Bears. It comes down to me, what do you think of J.J. McCarthy coming out in his first road start divisional matchup on the road, Allie? Can he perform?
Excuse me. So a lot to kind of unpack here. Now, I did this game 2 times in Total Chaos. I did a NFL Total Chaos with Sean Higgs, who I know you're going to have on later, and Nick Parsons. They were split on the decision of the over and the under of the total. Sean took this one under. Nick took this one over. I got to tell you, I lean with the under. I kind of lean all things Sean Higgs also. I'm a really big Sean Higgs fan for anyone who doesn't know. Nick Parsons is great too, though. Don't get me wrong. Then the other one we did was a player props with Tim Earl and Terry Edelman and J.J. McCarthy over or under the 220 passing yards. Those guys were split on this also. Now, it's not McCarthy's first year, but it's his rookie year. He's been in the league a year. He's also got the best record in college football history. He was 15-0. He won a national championship. Did he get the Heisman that year? No, he didn't. But, just all good things about JJ McCarthy. I kind of lean more to an under on his passing yards. I just want to see him play a little bit, I guess. He was really protected by a great defense at Michigan. They're an all defense, they're all known for their defense. So let's see how he does offensively. On the other hand, Caleb Williams, I'm not super thrilled with him. I know they've got a new head coach. They've got Ben Johnson, used to be the OC for the Lions. And he's kind of like a quarterback whisperer, but I think in Total Chaos, Sean Higgs mentioned that he was going to be have to be a quarterback screamer or, bang on his helmet, kind of a quarterback whisperer. So this should be a really interesting kind of matchup to see how it all goes down. I definitely lean with Sean Higgs and the play on the under in this game, though.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. I do think both of these teams are going to focus on that run game, right? Keenan Allen no longer there with the Bears, so we're going to see who's going to step up for Caleb out there and JJ McCarthy in this first start. You got to think they've got to get that run game going. I know Kevin O'Connell last season was able to get the Vikings really moving that ball, but, rookie court. Well, it's his second year, but still a rookie making that first road start. I think Sam Darnold was just kind of a step up last season, but it's going to be so interesting. Allie, I want to hear about Total Chaos. You mentioned it quick. Tell everyone where they can watch Total Chaos.
So yeah, Total Chaos was one of my hit shows from back about 2 years ago in the Picks and Parlays glory days. And the viewers demanded it back. They want their Total Chaos, especially for football season. We're filming 3 of them a week right now, or not a week. We're doing NFL, we're doing college football. Yes, it is a week. And player props. If you remember back in the day, we used to film one every single day. We were doing NBA, baseball, and that'll all start to pick up as well. But make sure that you're liking, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, leave us a comment in those Total Chaos boxes. Like I said, on my little road trip, I've already got it set up. We're filming an NFL Chaos today. I've got Sniper West. No, we're filming college football, NCAA Total Chaos. It's the first one of the season. We're filming today with Sniper West and Scott Reichel. Tonight is the deciding game in the NFL Chaos between Higgs and Parsons. Whoever wins that game is going to face Cameron Ross next week. And then I'm also working on who is my player prop guy that's going to face the winner of Tim and Terry. So it's really, really exciting. It's a show where I take 2 of our expert handicappers. I pit them head to head. I give them 5 different picks and they tell me if they're going over or under. Whoever gets the most correct comes back next week as the Total Chaos champion. So definitely hit those like buttons and subscribe so you never miss a competition.
Allie, it sounds absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to check out this week's Total Chaos over there. And you guys, like Allie said, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification button. You don't want to miss out on anything. Allie, where can everyone follow you personally?
You're going to follow me at Plus Money Honey on pretty much everything. So that's your spot, at Plus Money Honey.
Okay, Allie, all the best and all of your bets today. Enjoy Monday Night Football, and I'm sure we'll be checking in again soon.
Yes, ma'am. I'll see you soon, Joe. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Allie. Okay, you guys, let's jump straight into looking at this poll we've got running over on X. You guys know X versus the books. We wanted to see where people are leaning tonight in a Monday Night Football. I'm just pulling it up right now. Really interesting to see the majority of you guys, 36.4%, who have got their votes in, are taking the Minnesota Vikings laying the 1.5. Now the Chicago Bears are getting 31.8% of your love, and this total's an interesting one. 43.5 is that total. 19.3% liking that to the under. Only 12.5 liking it to the over. So X versus the books right now. The books definitely looking for that over to come in, over 43.5 based on this poll. And we're looking for the Bears if you're the books. And for the X account, it is the Vikings and the under. But we're going to bring in Sean Higgs. Let's see what he's got to say on this one. I just want to bring up Cody's first half under 22.5 coming in at -112. He's rolling with that. And I don't mind a first half under. You got to worry with these two teams if we're going to see that overtime Monday Night Football, I think we're in for quite the night here. So looking at a first half under, I definitely think is a solid way to go in this matchup. Now, if you looked at the Jets and the Steelers yesterday, that was a game I was flirting with taking the first half under. I ended up staying off that game completely, and thankfully I did, because that game started off hot. Aaron Rodgers, 4 passing touchdowns. It was an insane game between those two. So hopefully we don't see the same thing between this one. I just don't see it happening. And Lex coming in here with the Vikings on the money line. Vikings race to 10. I do like those kind of bets, the race to 10, something that I haven't taken very much, but let's bring Sean Higgs into the show. Sean, how's it going today?
Good morning, Joe. How are you this morning?
I'm good. It's been an incredible Monday so far. I have to start this off with, what did you think of Sunday football? The day as a whole, what was the standout game for you? Was it the Sunday Night Football game?
No, not for me. For me, it was the Jets game for me, because it was my survivor pick. So I had $18 million on the Jets to go down like that. So that would be my standout performance there. Although they did cover on the site for me there. So 5-3 day with the NFL, but a little annoyed at that. Yeah, good game last night. And a great game. Who are we talking about? Nice comeback. Are we, I was on Twitter and someone saying like, Lamar's garbage. I'm thinking to myself, I didn't realize he played defense. I didn't realize he was out there on defense giving up 22 points in the fourth quarter. Or he's the guy calling plays that just have him run the ball, run. Oh, it's 39 pass. I mean, Harbaugh has got to get some responsibility here for his terrible play calling. Yeah. You are up by double. Every time you're up by double digits, you get a lead. Run, punt. Run, pass, punt. I mean, you're not putting your guy in position to win a game. Like, what are you doing letting this team? You get up 2 scores, and then you let them come back in. Then you run the ball. They score a touchdown. You're up a touchdown. You score. Then you let them score. Then it's just ridiculous. I don't understand. You can't get conservative.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
It's a total flip from what they did 2 years ago with Kansas City in the championship game, where they were running all over Kansas City. The week before, Buffalo ran all over Kansas City, and Kansas City had to pull out a miracle win against them, right, in the playoffs. And what do they do that game? Oh, we're not going to win today. We're going to throw the ball. And yet when your quarterback's performing or doing, you're just going to switch up and just say, we're going to it's bizarre. I mean, if I'm a Baltimore fan, I'm a little annoyed. You have a game against Cleveland this week, and then next week I think you got the Chiefs next week after that.
Oh, absolutely. Ray Brown coming in here he went to sleep going into halftime. So he thought Aaron was way too conservative as well. So he's on the same page as you. I sat there, Sean, and for me, Josh Allen, MVP market, I'm not even sure what the odds were before last night, but I'm sure those odds definitely have moved after what we saw last night. Josh Allen for me is like Mahomes. I never count them out of that game. I couldn't believe Bills fans were leaving when they were down 15 points. For you, was there a point in that game where you thought it was going to be over and done, that the Ravens just had that clear path to win, or did you see that comeback for the Bills?
Well, I didn't see the comeback because I thought maybe the coach learned a lesson and would put your foot on the throat. Like, this is a playoff home field advantage implications.
Yeah. I
mean, you play the Chiefs. You play Cincinnati. I mean, the Bills play the Chiefs in Cincinnati and Eagle. I mean, like, what are you doing when you had them beat? The crowd's leaving. The momentum is there. Well, hey, listen, I knew Rodgers was going to have a good game, but the Jets should have won that game, Pete. I mean, you watch the game. I mean, Rodgers, as much as he want to have a good game against his old team, what about the old team he screwed for 2 years? You don't think those guys defense wanted to go to take his head off? I mean, come on.
That game started off a little slow, though, right? Like with Rodgers, you look at the Jets, they started off a couple steps ahead. I was really impressed with Justin Fields, and I looked at it, and I was at the pub. I was watching. I was like, come on, Rodgers. Like, I kept yelling at him because a couple of those drives weren't pretty.
Listen, they were getting 3. I liked it. I got a mobile quarterback. He could run the ball. Like Fields, jump onto his season rushing over yards. I mean, he's going to go for 80 or 90 a game. He's going to take off. The Jets have talent. I mean, they've been injured. I mean, Zach Wilson won, 6-7 games with him behind an injured offensive line and lost his at the time they were rookies, wide receiver and running backs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then you bring in Aaron Rodgers and his coordinator. He gets hurt on the first snap. How do you think that team's going to look with a backup quarterback who knows nothing about the play, the offensive coordinator's plays, and then last year's nonsense? I mean, come on, it was a jet play. They covered the number. They should have won outright though. But again, back to this game, Harbaugh. What are we doing here? This is terrible. I mean, my faith in him has gone down.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
It's gone up a little bit. There's a 13.5 offshore here with this number here. You know, and 11's here at the in the States on the DK and the FanDuels.
Interesting to see those movements. 13.5. That's a lot of points, Sean. Where would you be going with that? With 13? Yeah, I'm seeing Sports 411 over on Odds Logic have that solid 13.5 at Pinnacle as well at plus 100. Laying the 13.5 with Baltimore. I don't know if I can get that. The Cleveland Browns and Joe Flacco looked pretty decent with some of his drives yesterday.
Well, you see 411 at 13 and Penny at 13.5. You should just go to DraftKings and get that over 11. You know, take the 11.5 with Baltimore and come in and take care of business. Yeah. Cleveland had a good game. There's another team that should have won.
Yeah,
I mean they should have won again. Missed field goal. But you know they do have a defense. As much as we could say Cleveland's going to be a bad team and who's the quarterback, they do play some defense. This is a tough loss. Like how does they're not a Super Bowl team, but they are a Super Bowl team. Like how are you responding to that loss on Sunday night?
Oh,
are you going to come in here and win this game 30-10? Like you probably should. The talent says this is a 30-10 game. You look at the 45.5, it's right around those numbers, or 34-13, something like that. I don't know. It's I don't think I could pull it, even if it's 11.5 and you're getting some value there.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a tough. I mean, the old pull up your bootstraps, I guess, but I don't know if I'm going to be involved in that one. I got a couple games. That one did not make my cut for this week.
Okay, let's talk some Monday Night Football. Yeah. Ray Brown, the Bengals, shame to see them not be able to cover. They started off with a couple really solid drives, and I thought we would have some success. Cody coming in with tonight's under in the first half now has moved from a -110 to a -120. So the juice is ticking up on tonight's matchup to the under in the first half. So, Sean, Monday Night Football, I'm hoping we get a game like we saw last night in Sunday night. Maybe a little greedy of me to hope for so many fireworks, but the Minnesota Vikings, now the favorite. They're laying 1.5 when this opened at Chicago, being the favorite, laying the 1. We do see that total, 43.5 out there. It's starting to creep up to 44. Circa has a 44. We're also seeing a 44 at Pinnacle. So the juice to the under. So it's going to be interesting. What do you got for us, Monday Night Football?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got the little first half under there. I'd be shocked if I want to say if the first team to 20 wins this game. I think the line is right because of the Vikings coach. I mean, the guy's coach of the year. You saw what he did last year with Sam Darnold. So I think the edge goes to him, even with basically a rookie quarterback. And McCarthy. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the guy's a rookie. He hasn't thrown a pass in a game. And he's got a Monday nighter. Although I'll disagree with I kind of like his overpassing yards, believe it or not, 220.5. I think they'll be, keep them inside the range there. Not, a conservative approach for both teams, but shorter passes as opposed to throwing it deep and stuff like that. So I'm expecting running. Obviously, both teams have good defenses. And again, the Vikings coaching staff they're really great, top of the line. So I expect them to hold Fields. Yeesh, listen to me. I was reading the Fields comment in the chat there going against his old team, the Steelers. Caleb Williams, I know you have quarterback whisperer, but I was, again, preseason NFL, it's not what it used to be. I didn't see anything I liked from him. I didn't see anything I liked out of the guy last year. Now, is Ben Johnson going to do a great job with him? Possibly. Is it going to take more than a August together and a Monday night? I think it'll take some time for this guy to show out a little bit, but 100% on the under. I said on Ali's show I would go under 33.5 when it was 43.5. Who's scoring 20 here? First team to 20 wins, because I think this would be a 20-10 kind of game.
Yeah, I like where you're going with that. I could definitely see it being the case. We know last season, Caleb Williams in one of the games, the very first time versus the Vikings, he had success. That was an overtime game, Sean. We saw a higher scoring one. The second one out, we saw the Minnesota Vikings defense really lock down on him, holding him to 12 points out there. So it was a mixed bag last season, what we saw out of Caleb Williams versus the Minnesota Vikings. But I'm kind of like, if you had to take a side, I know you don't like a side, you're not betting a side, but where do you lean in this one? Divisional matchup. You've got JJ McCarthy making his first start in a divisional matchup on the road. Like, do you think he can find a way to get things done?
I would lean Minnesota. Again, just because the coaching side of it, head coach is great, defense coordinator is great. They won 14 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll think they could eke out a win here. I mean, the line tells you all you need to know. Why aren't the Bears favored at home on a Monday night versus a guy making his first start? I think it comes down to the staff and everything around them. I'll use that. The guys who make the lines are definitely a lot smarter than me. So I'm gonna, when push comes to shove, it's a favorite. I'm gonna rely on a coach to develop his quarterback. We saw last year with Darnold looked pretty good. And this isn't, they lost to teams with more wins or something. They weren't losing to bad teams. They weren't losing to bad teams. So I'll lean Mini here. If you want to play it, I'm on the Vikings. Purple people eater, right? We did the purple people eaters back in the 70s. Haven't been that good in a long time, but.
Absolutely. Let me throw a couple trends at you here. A trend for the Vikings versus the Bears. They have won the last 6 first halves and the last 6 full games as a road favorite against the Bears. So if you're a trend better, that's definitely somewhere to go. I want to give you a trend for the touchdown prop, Sean, here. Aaron Jones has scored at least 1 touchdown in 4 of his last 5 road appearances versus the Bears. Aaron Jones coming in here for the Minnesota Vikings with a touchdown prop, paying you plus 150. Enough value based on the trend to go with him.
Yes. There you go. I mean, a running back plus 150 with a rookie quarterback on the road where we're going to rely on a running. We don't want him making mistakes and forcing stuff. Where's it going to go? We're going to hand it right off, a little toss halfback, toss right to run it in, scampering from 7 yards out. Let's go. I like that anytime touchdown there, plus 150 for Aaron Jones.
Okay, I love where you're going. Rod coming in with a great trend for that total. Bet under Kevin O'Connell games, one played on Monday night. The under is 5-0 for Kevin O'Connell with Minnesota. So, Rod,
I like it, Rod.
Good to see you here. Great trend. Justin Jefferson, thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got the best receiver on the field.
Yeah.
You got a coach who knows how to get the guy the ball. Now, right, if you're asking for like a prop on him, I mean, I don't have his receptions and that kind of stuff pulled up in front of me. Obviously, he's going to be a go-to guy here. I like his passing yards over for McCarthy's 220.5. Is he going to get the bulk of those? I'd assume so. Right, you're going to go to your all-pro receiver to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so interesting. Yeah, we're looking at Justin Jefferson.
What's his prop for a touchdown? Yeah, I prefer the rushing one over because you get in the 5-10 yard line, it's going to be a run. They're not going to have him force stuff in a condensed end zone with everybody's tight in there. So that's why I kind of go running back first.
Okay, so we know JJ McCarthy at Michigan. He was phenomenal with his legs and with his arm. He has the arm ability. We're looking at Justin Jefferson for his total receiving yards. It's 80.5. That's a lot to ask if they're relying on the run game. But what do you think, Sean, of coming in with that big, long reception? If we can get JJ McCarthy to get that one deep ball out to Justin Jefferson, his longest reception is 25.5. While you think on that, I'm going to grab you the value on his touchdown prop.
Yeah, 25.5. Why not? You can see like a nice little, like a 28, 31 yarder catch, something, going down the line. They're going to take a shot. There'll eventually be a shot taken, right? So it's even money, right? We're relying on 110 on those kind of props. It's not like kind of crazy. And we've seen it. We've seen guys, other teams, right? There's always kind of like that kind of one big kind of play. Why not do it with the best receiver? I don't mind. Again, are they going to open them up I think it's less than a 50-50 shot that they're going to chuck it downfield. But again, I don't know. I mean, that's the game plan in my head is you don't want this kid screwing up, right? You're on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So how many shots are there going to be there for that? There could be one. I mean, we saw, Dak the other day just chucking it down the field. I mean, he's an experienced quarterback, but the way I had this game playing out is there won't be a lot of that stuff. It would be more, controlled as opposed to we're going to run a streak down the sideline and beat your guy. I'm going to throw it, be there to catch it. But
absolutely. I'm with you on this one. And I do think there is a lot of props that you can look at in that the rushing yard market. Aaron Jones coming in at 49.5. You've got Jordan Mason coming in at 37.5. DeAndre Swift for the Bears at 53.5. And Caleb Williams, we know Caleb Williams solid with his legs as well, 23.5. And JJ McCarthy, I think that line is just too low, 17.5 only for him. We know what we saw out of Michigan under that pressure, under that stress. He has that ability to use his legs and rush it in. I've got that. I've also got the long shot for JJ McCarthy to sneak one in with his legs. It's like plus 600. Sean, any chance you think we could see that happening?
Why can't we see it in? Yeah. I mean, first game, they could just run a little fake and him rolling out, right? The old keeper, we're gonna give Aaron Jones here on the 3. Everybody's gonna go that way. I'm gonna go this way. First touchdown in the NFL. I mean, you see that. I mean, come on. Can you not see that already on Twitter coming across? Yeah. JJ McCarthy, anytime touchdown, show us your tickets. Come on. 6-1. I think it's worth a shot.
Oh, 6-1. Yeah. And if you like Caleb Williams, if you think he'll answer back with his legs, he's coming in right around that plus 420. But let's not forget about baseball, Sean. We've got 11 games on deck today. There's some exciting games. There's a lot of games where we're seeing, the favorites where you're going to have to look at that run line. For everyone, my best bets will be coming in at the end of the show to play it like Madden's. But Sean, where are you going to go? What have you got for us today out there on the diamonds?
I like the Mets. I like them better last night when they were like plus 101. Now they're going off as a favorite here versus Aaron Nola. I also I've been jumping on Lindor and Soto stolen bases since last Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, they didn't play Friday. Or excuse me, they didn't play Thursday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, they went 1-1 every day. Somebody had a steal. Somebody did not have a steal. Sunday, it went 0-2. But that translates to 4-6. And at the odds they were getting at over 4-1, you'd be up $1,050 going 4-6 with those two guys stolen bases. Today they're at $360 for Lindor, $380 for Soto. So I like that. I do like the Reds with Lodolo, and only because I'm not a Darvish guy and I think he's bad, and I'm partially biased to the Reds. I have an over 80.5 win ticket, so we're closing in on that. So I'm always going to cheer for a Reds win. The Mariners, I want to fade them here. It's just such a huge number. Right, we're laying a big number here. They just played 9 in a row on the road, but the last 2 scare me. This is the problem, Joe. Like 20. I mean, you scored 28 runs the last 2 games. I want to take Mikolas in the card just because it's plus 240 and a 9-game road trip. But I'm hung up on those 28 runs. That's geez, good grief. And believe it or not, I want to take a shot on the Rockies here. It's low, 250. It seems like we should get a lot more with the Rockies, with a guy who's got 2 wins on the season. Glass now supposed to go, but who knows? He might be scratched because of his bad back. I will take the Rockies with a crazy 250 spot there. I wanted to take Webb, but it had to be a run line play there. But I didn't get to the window on that.
Yeah, there's a loaded slate. I'm always worried about fading the Dodgers at home, but that's not a market you can jump into, right? Like even laying the run and a half on that run line, laying 1.5, it's minus 172. The Rockies are
172.
Yeah, it's disgusting, right? You can't.
You just came back from the, you're playing in Baltimore. You finally broke a losing streak. People just automatically want to just pencil in the Dodgers to win every game and go to the World Series. I mean, they've lost money the entire year if you bet them. And now you're going to lay a 172 on a run line with a guy who maybe he starts. I mean, I don't know how they're going to be coming back from the East Coast today. This is a spot where you just take a stab on the Rockies. I'm not, you got to be comfortable knowing that my guy is 2-12 with a 7 ERA. He could very well lose this game. You want more than 250, but again, for the value of it, same with the Cardinals. Those two big dogs. I think one of them wins. I mean, you go 1-1, you're making a unit and a half. So I think you're in good hands.
Absolutely. Well, Sean, that is a great slate for the MLB. Can you just give us a recap what you're liking on Monday Night Football and let everyone know where they can find you and where they can get all of your bets?
Yeah, well, right here, Picks Parlays for all my bets. Having a good season in Major League Baseball. Winning day yesterday in NFL, 5-3. College football's off to a great start. So there's that. You got my best bet in the NFL land. I mean, I got a package up, but whatever. You get a freemium. I don't mind. I do a lot of free picks, and a lot of times you get my premium kind of stuff here. I love the under tonight. Like I said, under 33.5 for me. I do not see a lot of points being scored here. I'll go under there. Baseball, the stone base props, I've been playing them since last Tuesday, and they've been paying off. I'm going to keep going. Two guys looking for 40-40s and 30-30 seasons. So I'll ride the Mets there with the stolen bases and the two dogs. Again, they're not on the site, but they were close. I was torn on doing that. I've been picking my spots in MLB the last month. I think I'm like 7-3 the last few days, last week and a half here with Major League Baseball, but 60% since August 1st with MLB. So it's been a good season. Keeping it going, and we got a college and NFL. I loaded up a couple college and NFL ready for week 1. No packages up, but again, I gave you a freebie today. Get a weekly pass. Go get a weekly pass, and I'll let you know. Let's have my little book. I wrote my stuff down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 NFL games already for week 2, and 3 college footballs are posted. So
I love it.
There you go. 12 games already up for the weekend. That's how I roll.
Absolutely. You guys, make sure you head on over to Picks and Parlays. You've already got those games up, and you want to get the best of those numbers, right, Sean?
Yes.
Getting that package today instead of waiting till Sunday, definitely a smart way to go.
You have to. I do. I know. I do my little look at lines every Sunday with the lines, and I'm like, they come out on Tuesday night. Sometimes I'll do a show on Tuesday or Wednesday. I said the lines are here. This is what they're going to do, and every game basically a change from what the opening number was on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
But people want to wait to the last second. I mean, I don't know. Last second, last second cost you. Last second, you had the Jets at 2.5 instead of 3.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Last second, you had Denver -9 instead of a 7.
Yeah. And if you got it that 8.5, that wasn't pretty either. So with that number finishing 8-point difference. But yeah, what do you think of the interceptions tonight? Then I'm going to let you go. I know you got a busy day.
I would say yes. I mean, as much as I think both coaches want to play close to the vest and not have these guys make mistakes, they're still 2 young quarterbacks and 2 decent defenses. So it wouldn't shock me, but it's not something I'm going to bet on there, Pete. Thanks, Ray. Joe, always a pleasure seeing you.
Sean, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate your time. Hopefully we'll see you Thursday or Friday of this week.
You just let me know.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
All right.
You guys make sure you go over to Picks and Parlays and grab Sean's packages over there. You don't want to miss out on everything that he has for sale. Like he was saying, he's already got 9 picks out for week 2 in the NFL. So you want to get those lines before they do move. But we got tons to still go over, you guys, so don't go anywhere. I want to give you the Play It Like Madden plays, fade or follow. We're going to go over those. I've got 2 in the MLB. One might be going against Sean Higgs here, so I hate to do it, but I've got a bet there. And then my best bets for Monday Night Football. I think it's going to be a great game tonight. I wanted to go over a couple of things. First, let's look at the X versus the books, where you guys are sitting with that poll. And if you haven't got in your votes yet, make sure you do. It's going to be really interesting to see where we finish X versus the books before this game kicks off. But right now we're seeing the majority of people liking the Vikings, laying the 1.5, 37.1% are putting their money tonight on that on X. We're seeing 30.9% putting their money on the Bears, plus 1.5, and that under is staying solid for that total trend. The 19.5 or 19.6% of you on the under 43.5, and the 12.4% of you on the over. Now get your odds logic screen up before you do bet this, because if you're liking an over 43.5 for the majority of the books out here, but we are seeing those 44s. Pinnacle and Circa have the 44. So if you do like the under, I encourage you to shop that line, get the 44. You might push, but it's better than sitting there with a 43.5 and having that one land right on the number. My only concern with the full game total is looking at the full game. If this one is going to be a tight game with those running backs being able to get in, and if we have the defenses get those interceptions, if we see a pick six out there, I think it has every possibility or overtime of going over that. So I'm going to stay off the total here. I just wanted to go over a couple of things with you, what I'm leaning and where I'm leaning and why. When I look at these two teams and what we're going to see out of them, you've got Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, out here. And I do think what he was able to do with that offense, with what Sam Darnold was able to do last season, of really driving that ball nice and deep. We saw those wide receivers being top options for Sam Darnold, but now you have JJ McCarthy. And while I think he's going to have a great career, I do have that worry tonight that we're going to lean on that run game, which when you're leaning on a run game, we know the clock gets heated up, and that does lean towards that under. I do think that ground game will come into play, especially when we look at the Bears. The Bears defense, I think, is decent against the pass. So we're going to see JJ McCarthy not take as many chances as maybe he would if this was at home, not a divisional road game here. Now, looking at the wide receiver core here for the Minnesota Vikings, you guys have to not forget that Addison is out suspended. I believe he's out for 3 games, so he won't be there. We are seeing, well, Naylor was to step up in his place, but he's out with a hand injury. So we will see Adam Thielen being the top wide receiver tonight. So he's been with the Vikings like, a week? And I know it came with a backlash here when they picked up Adam Thielen. He was from the Carolina Panthers. He wasn't a Pro Bowl in 2017, 2018. I think this is a great target for JJ McCarthy. So if you're looking at someone to kind of target in that wide receiver role, I do think he's worth a shot. Now you're seeing tight end Josh Oliver. He's able to open those gaps as well. The tight ends had success yesterday. So something to look at if you're looking for a tight end prop out there. And then we got Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason really leading things on the ground. But I do think JJ McCarthy will have success on the ground as well. Now, when we look at the Bears, you're looking at Ben Johnson coming out here. He's making his head coaching debut with the Chicago Bears, and I love him as a head coach. I really did. Before the Chargers were able to get Harbaugh there, I was hoping it would be Ben Johnson. I'm really happy with Jim Harbaugh. I'm not saying that, but I think Ben Johnson is one of those coaches you definitely want to have on your team. Now, when we look at Caleb Williams, I brought this up a little bit with Sean Higgs last season. When you look at Caleb Williams last season, in the first start, those 2 games versus Vikings. In the first game, he was phenomenal. In the second game, he really had those struggles. And I'm seeing all your comments coming in on IG, on YouTube. I just want to thank you guys for dropping those comments there. And I will get to as many as I can after we get through my best bets. But looking at Caleb Williams in that first meeting versus the Vikings, 340 yards he was able to throw through the air, 2 passing touchdowns. It was an overtime game. They did lose. It was 30-27 versus the Vikings. And then in that second game, Caleb Williams just did not have that success. 166 passing yards. There was 33 dropbacks. Remember the offensive line, all those struggles out there. Now we have seen improvements to the offensive line, but you're going to wonder if with those adjustments, with those players they brought in, if they're going to be able to get things going, especially in the first game. I would like to lean to yes. I would like to lean to Caleb Williams will have that positive game here in this one. I do think so much support is coming in on JJ McCarthy in his first start. While Caleb Williams already has a year under his belt, I'm kind of confused by that. So I do think it is, while this is going to still be a run game here, Caleb Williams will use his legs. I like his rushing prop over 23.5 rushing yards. And then I think you look at DeAndre Swift as well. His rushing prop is 53.5. I think that is a solid way to go. I'm going to look at the tight end, though, Cole Kmet. I love looking at tight ends, you guys. Cole Kmet's coming in 11.5 for his receiving yards. And I think we're going to see those short passes off by Caleb Williams. You also look at no more Keenan Allen here. So who's going to step up in Keenan Allen's place for the Chicago Bears. It's going to be very interesting to see. So those are kind of like my cliff notes on the game, what I'm expecting out of both of these teams. Again, I'm looking to rely on that run heavy. I made a point on the under lots of running plays. I know I did, and that's my problem here. So I do think the run game is going to be where this one tries to stay at. Both of these quarterbacks not looking to make those mistakes out there on the field. But I do have worry that even with the run game, we're going to see the mistakes when the quarterbacks do throw those balls. If we get a pick six, if this one stays tight, we've got a total of 43.5, you guys. If we go into overtime, that total's blown for me. So I do think someone threw out the first half under. Maybe that is the strongest way to go with that total. I just can't get there with this total. I'm going to look at this game as a whole, and I'm going to come at you with my best bets. I want to remind you guys of those trends. The Vikings have won the last 6 first half and the last 6 full games on the road as a favorite versus the Bears. We know they opened up as that dog. Aaron Jones, he is the prop trend that you guys want to look at. If you follow those trends, he scored at least 1 touchdown in 4 of the last 5 road appearances against the Bears. So his anytime touchdown coming in at plus 150. So if you like the trends, you like the props, that's where you want to go. Let's jump into my best bets out here on the football field. Monday Night Football, where am I going? Okay, so this goes against the run game. I do think the Bears get 22 points in this game. I'm taking the Bears team total over 21.5. It's coming in at minus 115. And I know, you guys, I know we're going to see that run game here, but I do think the Bears pull off a win 22-20. 22-20 gives us 42. As long as we don't go to overtime, that keeps us under that total. I think the Bears get 22 points in this game. I'll take their team total over 21.5. I have the quarterback with time under his belt versus a rookie quarterback in a divisional matchup, making his very first road start in a hostile environment. That's just where I have to go. I think the Bears get it done. Give me the Bears, and then I'm not betting the side. I'm just taking their team total over 21.5 points. I then will look at who I think is going to get in the end zone. I'm going to look at Bears wide receiver, Odunze here. Odunze coming in for the anytime touchdown at plus 215. Remember last season, he finished off with only 734 yards, 3 touchdowns, but you have the coaching staff here for the Bears saying he is going to have a big year. The coaching staff is having that belief in him. I will have that belief in him too. Caleb Williams to rush one in with his legs. We know Caleb Williams has every ability of doing so. Push comes to shove, this Vikings defense will cover his wide receivers out there. And I do think Caleb Williams can scramble. He can get that anytime touchdown. That's coming in at plus 460. I then will look at the wide receiver here for the Vikings, Adam Thielen, for the anytime touchdown. His anytime touchdown coming in at plus 340. I love it. I do think, there's so much flack coming on the Vikings for picking him up, and I don't know why. He was a Pro Bowler in 2017, 2018, and I think he has those solid hands that JJ McCarthy is going to be looking for. So I will look at him in Carolina last season. Thielen had 5 touchdowns in the 10 games he was healthy. Yes, he's getting up there in age. He has to stay healthy out there on the field. As long as he stays healthy, he's able to get that touchdown, in my opinion, and this game is where you would look. And then my long shot bet, JJ McCarthy for the touchdown coming in at plus 600. He showed us at Michigan he has every ability of doing this. And you got a rookie quarterback in a hostile environment. It's going to be loud in Chicago. If things go away from him, he's not able to get that play that he wanted. His wide receiver isn't open. His tight end isn't open. We're going to see him run it in. So I do think a plus 600 definitely worth a look. So my Monday Night Football best bet, the Bears team total over 21.5. Rome Odunze coming in for the touchdown for the Bears at plus 215. Caleb Williams at plus 460 for that touchdown, the quarterback there for the Bears. And then the Vikings, I will take Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen for the touchdown at plus 340, and the long shot on JJ McCarthy for the touchdown at plus 600. 500, you guys. But let's get that going. I just want to see your comments with you there. You got the Bears, and I don't blame you for taking the Bears. That's why I'm taking their team total over 21.5. I think so much love coming in here for the Minnesota Vikings, and I think not enough respect here for Caleb Williams and the Bears. I know what the Vikings have been able to do in the past, but I think this one is going to be a hard one. You're leaning with the Bears too, you guys. Let's make some freaking money tonight. I really hope they're able to pull things out. We're running long today. I've got 2 bets out there on the diamonds, and then I'm going to send you guys on your way. Don't forget, get in on the poll over on X. It is X versus the books. We want to see the Minnesota Vikings, the Bears, where you're betting, what you're liking on that total. Again, the majority of people on X loving the Vikings and the under today. So I'm rolling with the Bears team total over that 21.5. But let's turn to what I'm liking out there on the diamonds, you guys. So looking at the diamonds, we got a couple of good games out there on the diamonds, and we can't forget this time of year, it's really easy to just roll in and look at everything happening out there on the football field. But the Boston Red Sox will be giving the start to Garrett Crochet here tonight versus the A's. Now, they are on the road. Crochet is off a terrible game. Like, I'm talking absolutely terrible versus Cleveland. Versus Cleveland, he went 6 innings. He allowed 7 earned runs, 4 strikeouts only. I'm looking for that bounce back out of him tonight. On the road, his record is fantastic. He's 10-2 on the season with a 2.46 ERA. We're looking at an A's offense that has been surprisingly good as of late. They've been able to get those runs on the board and give their starting pitchers that run support, but I don't trust their bullpen here to really limit the Red Sox. So Morales coming out here for the A's. He's been actually really solid. 3 starts so far this season in 28.3 innings with an ERA of 1.38. So he's got great numbers, but I do think the Red Sox, if they don't get to him, Garrett Crochet is going to limit the A's to start. I think this could be a first 5 under, and then the Red Sox hit the bullpen here of the A's. So I'll take the Red Sox laying the 1.5 on that run line. It's coming in at -110. And then my other best bet out there on the diamonds is the Seattle Mariners. We're looking at the Seattle Mariners at home, and this is where Sean Higgs and I go different on the MLB slate today. So if you're rolling with Sean Higgs, you're going to get great plus money on the St. Louis Cardinals. I just don't see them getting it done. I'm rolling with Brian Wu here at home, the starting pitcher for the Seattle Mariners. Wu at home's 8-2 at home with a 2.35 ERA. His last 3, he's been solid, 2-1 with a 1.93. And then Miles Mikolas on the other side. This is a pure fade of him for me. I don't trust him out there on the mound. He's got an ERA that's almost at 5. It's a 4.90 ERA, and he's being destroyed. And I'm talking completely destroyed out there on the road. His ERA out there on the road is a 6.79. So I am liking the Seattle Mariners laying 1.5 and the Boston Red Sox laying 1.5. Plus 100 for the Mariners bet, and we're looking at -110 for the Boston Red Sox. So I'm seeing your comments come in. I also want to know that in that baseball, on the baseball slate, if you wanted to look at the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox parlayed on the money line, it is too juicy for me with how pricey it is for the Seattle Mariners. It's only +127 for those 2 parlayed together. And when I'm normally liking a team on the run line, I will look at that. I would rather you guys just bet both of these teams on that run line separately. If you want to go for a long shot and you really have the belief, the faith behind both of these teams to cover that run line, you can look at the 2-leg parlay for a sprinkle up +288. I think it would be the smarter way to go than just looking at that money line. We know the dogs can be barking, but I don't see either of those barking either. So Ray Brown also sitting there on that run line. I love it. So it's going to be a great one. Yeah, I can't trust Mikolas out there on the road. So it's going to be a hard one. You could look at the first 5 as well. You're asking the first 5 or the full game. I think the first 5 is a really solid way to go. You guys, that is it for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here, joining me over here on All-Jo Madden on Picks and Parlays. We'll be back on Thursday. Opening lines, head on over to Odds Logic and look at those opening lines. Just quickly to note the big game Thursday, we'll be going over the Washington Commanders versus the Green Bay Packers. We are seeing the Packers off that really strong performance being a 3.5-point favorite over the Washington Commanders. We got Jordan Love versus Jalen Daniels. It's going to be some fireworks, in my opinion. That total is up 48.5 across the majority of the books. We are seeing a 47.5, you guys, on Pinnacle. So if you like that one to the over, grab those lines now. I do think the public money is going to come in and keep betting this one to the over. Pushing it, I would be shocked if we didn't hit 49.5 before this one kicked off, if not 50. So if you do like it to the over, grab that 47.5. If you're liking it to the under, I would wait. I think the public money will come in. I know the Green Bay Packers defensively with Micah Parsons now on that team should be solid at really shutting down Washington, but Washington looked stronger than people expected yesterday. So I love what we saw out of them. But Thursday, we'll break this game down. We'll be going over everything that we're liking out there. I have 2 great guests for you guys. So make sure you do join us then. But until then, you guys, stay hot. Let's make some freaking money here, and all the best in all of your bets.